and I didn't want to admit it to myself. So yeah, just got my ass beat all night, and then beat it first try, and thought it was easy the next day. I was like, wow, that was easy actually. And mm,
There's no
the
Lions
last
game this
night,
weekend, so maybe I'll sit down and play that with like the other stuff, the other games,
yeah,
like streaming on my other screen or something like that.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the Heimdall, I was sitting there going, you went and got this whole weapon for him. Whatever the key is going to focus on this weapon. I might be able to use the other ones at certain times, but whatever the key is. And I got him with the bomb once using that aerial bombardment one. Heavy rune. Where he throws the spear up and comes down. And I got him once with one of those explosions, and that's what kind of went there. But then every time you'd run down hit him R3, you would miss like every single time. So I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Don't mind me.
Looking real creepy.
I'm just trying to look at you closer, man. That's all. Got to finish rolling this bad boy. The last one.
We are
Until...
live if you don't know.
Oh. Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Yeah, there's a possibility that the first words of the stream were, I spent all night getting my ass beat.
I mean, I did, though. God of War Ragnarok is fun as fuck, but it's hard. That is an unforgiving game.
Even on the give me balance mode.
Yeah, that is an unforgiving game. So I was like, man, why? I'm like, do I suck? Am I trash at video games? And then I looked online and people are just like, man, God of War Ragnarok is a secret Dark Souls game that nobody told anybody about. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's a hard game.
So
thank you.
If you didn't realize, that's why I switched over for some of those bosses, like the elites and stuff like that. That's why I switched over to, instead of having rage, I switched over, I think it's Valor that gives you health. Yeah. And then I have at least one set of armor that boosts up how much health you get from those things and the things. So I'm like, all right, this is going to be really handy when I'm facing those bosses with that big, like, not even bars over their head, but any of those ones that have the bar across the top of the screen.
Yeah, so I'm happy that I found most of those ravens, because I rocked the raven tier set as soon as I had the whole thing for the rest of the game. And that shit was... because you keep healing.
Wait, what?
The raven tier set, like, whenever there's a whole lot, it has a bunch of healing stuff to it. One of the pieces makes you heal more from picking up healing thingies. One of the pieces makes you heal more from blocking attacks, like parrying. And then I forgot what the other one does, but yeah, basically you're healing the whole fight.
Yeah, I have at least one of those on. I know I also have one that's for whenever you get to R3 an enemy, you get health.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, so it was like basically that's, yeah, once you have the third piece, you're pretty much healing the whole fight.
That's why I'm constantly, like, if you watch like intently, you'll see me go into the map as I'm traveling so much. I'm like, am I in it? Yeah. Am I in an area that's a ravens around? No, okay, I don't have to pay attention. But then it's like you get to a new section, it says, okay, there's a raven here. It's like every time I walk through like a doorway into like a different area, I'm looking. And man, when I was in those the crater with the dragons and stuff like that, I kept hearing the owl, and I was losing my damn mind, walking to all these different edges and stuff, trying to figure out where the hell that owl is. It's like in a fucking pit. I mean, there's still, I think, 2 more on that section, but
Yeah, I mean, do enough to get that full Raven tier set. I'm telling you,
yeah.
like it doesn't seem like it does a whole lot, but you're gonna last a lot longer in fights with it.
Yeah, that's why most of my stuff is towards health in some kind of way. I got the one where it says, it said not only if you pick it up, but when you do your Spartan's Rage, but you have the health on, like it says all of it like helps. I'm like, yes, just give me, I want things that provide me health.
Make me back to life.
But before I got those, the one I really liked was the one that slowed down time. I got rid of
the
it.
realm shift.
Yeah, I was using those a lot at first, but then I got the healing ones. I was like, I'm going healing.
Yep, that's the way to go. That
yeah.
was the easiest way to get through the game.
I got 4 out of the 6 chests. And it's part of why I went to Muspelheim. I was like, all right, it says there's not a whole lot to do here, but there are challenges. They're just not showing up yet. So I was like, let's go see if there's any ravens, because I hadn't stepped foot in it outside of the time that they took you there and you had no control. So I didn't even know if there was ravens.
Yeah, it's most of it's beatable before that you beat the game. The first 6 definitely. After that, I would suggest to beat the game first.
I really just want to knock out that last one, and I'm gonna spend too much time trying to do it. Or I'll be like you, and the next time I start the game off.
Yeah, I'm telling you, do it during the daytime, and you'll beat it. You'll be like, oh, I did it.
Wait until you're falling asleep.
Yeah.
To try to be perfect on dodging and countering.
Yeah, that's what I was like, I had to be awake so that I could dodge better, because we're old, man. We don't have the reflexes. We don't have the reaction time anymore.
Speaking of old,
you gotta be at your sharpest.
Speaking of old and time, for the sake of our health and sanity.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's already. All right, let's get this thing on the road.
Sorry, I had to make sure that I hit start recording and stuff before I went. It's Friday night, and you know what that means. As JR says, there's an episode of AEW Rampage. That happens way too late at night. I'm just saying, that gentleman over there.
Range of motion straight out of a street fight.
Don't fool you, he has a wine glass just off screen.
Hey, gangsters drink wine too.
Are you gonna throw your pinky out like what was their name? Was it the Workhorseman?
Pinky though. Gangster pinky. We about to touch tips, son.
I already forgot the group's name.
Yeah, the Workhorse.
It was them? Okay. I was like, wait, there's another low-end group over there that I can't remember the name of. This is a gangster
glass of wine. It's 19 crimes, okay?
So, we started the show off with Darby versus one of our favorites over here.
Rockhorse Juice!
I love it. Every time he gets into one of those sequences where he throws like a bunch of jabs and people react to every single jab, it's just juice. Whole crowd. I love it.
I love juice.
Speaking of loving though, we talked about somebody you loved as a little kid. Juice busted out a jackhammer.
Oh, did he stall it out?
A little bit.
Okay.
But commentary started talking about, they were even surprised. They're like, "What? You don't really see those anymore." And talking.
Goldberg.
Hey, maybe seeing a jackhammer from Juice is what prevented us from having to see Wardlow this week.
Wardlow could use a week off. He just lost his belt. He's got time to sulk about it. He just lost his belt and Darby just won it. So,
I haven't fully watched any news. Get to it in a second. But this match in itself, it was basically what we expect from a Darby match, in which he got his butt kicked for most of it, then a lot of really, really fast offense.
Yeah. Tope, coffin drop.
Yeah. Well, the coffin drop came when he actually countered Juice with the Scorpion Death drop, and then did the coffin drop, got the dub.
Okay. Scorpion Death drop.
I think he did miss one. He did miss one earlier in the match. Sting.
I feel like he usually misses one. Sting is Proud Papa again.
Proud Papa came out after the match and came down and they celebrated together. It was a normal Darby match. And I've and it goes perfectly with the name, but I feel like I kind of figured out the appeal of Juice. He's a really, really good looking man. He had some of his poses where his hair was like coming over his face. I was like, I don't say this too often, but damn.
I mean, he is fine, but he's rock hard.
He's going on my short list.
And he's Juice still.
Going on my short list, right, with Ryan Reynolds on like dude exceptions, where I'll be like, I will openly confess to, like, yes.
Oh man.
I don't know how
I
to...
would
I'm not saying I would
be friends with Juice. I think I could be friends with Juice, unless if he's a partier. If he's a big time partier, I couldn't. Because I'd be like, all right, I hung out with him once and that was enough.
But also, let's be honest, somebody who travels the world and makes decent money, their version of partying is vastly different than our version of partying.
I don't do none of that stuff.
I do not know how to fill much more time on this match. So just to kind of address the chat, if you're still there, I'm completely fine if Mandy does not go to AEW. Mercedes, I think, would be a big ass deal, though.
Yeah. Like, we haven't heard anything else about either of them coming to AEW. But a lot of people speculate that Mercedes will, if she comes to AEW, it'll be on like a per appearance kind of thing, not like a full contract.
Mm-hmm. Like, I could imagine it being something kind of like how Will Ospreay was around for a while. Like, you just kind of pick and choose and use the time wisely. Pretty good stories. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah. Anytime you want to bring her in, I'd be happy. I don't care if it's per appearance or permanently, but I'd be down for anything that she does in AEW. She should just probably pick a different hairdo, because that moldy hairdo she had at Wrestle Kingdom.
That's the first thing I thought of too, was mold, and I felt
like moldy bread, dog. I'm like, it made me think of the bread that was sitting in my cabinet for too long.
I mean,
but she's still a star, though.
Let's say she isn't under contract. or agreed appearances like coming up or something. It's not like AEW is going to come out and say, hey, chill out, she's not coming, because if you're a business, that just means you need to be doing everything to contact her as much as you can to get her there.
Right. Like if we know anything about Tony Khan, that is that he is definitely trying his hardest to get her.
Yeah, because he stresses to bring people in and make a big deal out of them, and they don't even have the impact that she would. Speaking of, as an example, Bandito was a big deal. But guess what?
To us.
Where's he been besides like his showcase matches when he first got there in September? Because it was like Grand Slam.
I think he's been on Dark or something, maybe. I don't know. Because I've been kind of watching Dark, and he hasn't really been there either.
His next appearance will be playing the role of Konosuke Takeshita in giving Bryan Danielson a really good match before losing.
That's good. That's what we're doing here. We're going to just keep on giving. We're going to feed Bryan Danielson the best wrestlers on the roster.
So
without building them.
Without that being said, so we already know it's been Takeshita. We know next one is going to be Bandito. I'm just trying to quickly pull up my calendar on my phone, but what was that? The 11th. So next one's going to be the 18th. The next one, then the 25th, right?
Yeah. And then we've got one that'll be on the 1st, then the 8th.
So 3 more.
So we've got 3 more.
Who's next in line? If we got Takeshita and
so yeah, and
Bandito
then we got
next.
Bandito coming next. I'm trying to think of, because obviously it seems like it's obviously going to be guys that are top notch in ring performers right now.
Yep, and
so
and that being said, you have some that are very low on the card. But it's going to be people that have been treated like good. And so far, people that aren't doing anything on TV, so that's going to rule out. I can't imagine he's going to go face Daniel Garcia again. Actually, for the love of God, just because we've seen that all recently, avoid that faction altogether.
Yes. Stay away from anything to do with BCCJS, please.
Unless, with that being said, do you think the very last one could be Mox or Claudio?
So Claudio, I think, would be a good one.
Oh, Mox has his other stuff going on, yeah.
Yeah, Mox has other things going on. And let that man enjoy his vacation. But Claudio, I think, would be a good last one. Like, hey, your last hurdle is
your friend
that, the one guy that you respect the most. Well, other than William Regal, because obviously he would lick William Regal's butt cheeks. The in-between area.
I'm sitting just trying to think of, but it's so hard because if they're not on TV, like, they kind of slip your mind,
Yeah.
Ooh. I would hate this because it would mean he loses in return, so you can't bring back as a surprise like Rusev to Miro.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of shitty to bring somebody back just to lose to Danielson. Like, hey, he's back and he loses to Danielson, but he's back though.
I'm trying to think of people that fit that role, isn't it? Oh, but you want to know what we're not thinking of? And I feel like it's okay for us to not do this, right? We're not thinking of people outside of AEW, how like MJF has done before. Like when it was Jericho, he brought in like Kubi and Nick Gage. kind of hard to speculate on outside
True.
company.
You could bring outside people in. I mean, obviously AEW has a good working relationship with just about everybody, not named WWE. So,
I mean, I can think of people. I mean, Roosh makes sense in this regard as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because Roosh is another one of those kind of people that is irrelevant until they need him to lose to somebody.
But just not really doing anything super major right now. Right now, it's just kind of like, hey, let's build the story of, you know, Preston Vance as a member of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just building him, and the group has been forgotten.
Do you think they would throw Dante in that role? Because as a singles, like, he's done that kind of spot a bunch.
If Darius wasn't around, yes. But they're very clearly trying to make him and Darius like the next big tag team.
I mean, that triangle.
Although I think Dante should be a single star, but
yeah, because outside that, like, I'm really running. Like, it's hard to fill that specific spot.
I can't think of because it's definitely got to be somebody who's like one of the best in-ring performers, because they're obviously trying to make all of these matches look like they are the shit.
I mean, technically, you could argue maybe not next week because they just, you know, dropped the belts, but you could just throw like that triangle in there one by one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but after
say Packer Penta would be a good match.
Yeah, it gets very thin after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's all I can guarantee is that they're going to pick people that are like capable of like a 5-star type of match.
So before you got there, the only other thing was Hobbs did have another Book of Hobbs video.
Hell yeah.
A phoenix rises from the ashes, but he's going to break the phoenix's neck and take the ashes, and then he's going to spread the ashes all over everybody he hurts.
Is he going to wrestle Ray Phoenix?
See, in my head, my brain just went to, is he going to carry around like an urn, like, or have somebody join him, carry around an urn like Paul Bear, and then just take ashes, and whenever he beats people, instead of spray painting them, he just covers them in ashes?
Yeah. Because I like when I think Phoenix, first thing I think of is Ray Phoenix, but there's no story there, so that's like, no, that can't be what he's talking about. Yeah, he better not carry around an urn with some ashes in it or something. Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, it definitely can't be that track.
Hell no.
Speaking of things in which people talked and have no idea what they were saying, Mogul Affiliates.
Dog.
With apparently one of Diddy's kids and his friend, which I have no idea what his name was.
Yeah. I don't know. This was the most pointless Swerve promo I've ever seen. It was just another one of those, oh, Swerve knows people, but it's people that you don't even know.
Yeah, and then repeating that they are going to be violent and gruesome in all of 2023.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so far that's been true, but this still was a pointless promo.
You know how it'd be a lot more effective delivering that lines? Start off the segment with like, Swerve laying somebody the fuck out randomly backstage.
Yeah. Yeah, have him and his whole crew start out by stomping out somebody.
Because then at least it goes to the point of what you're saying as opposed to, hey, you're just talking.
Right. Right.
And since he's got those big guys with him, it's not even like he has to be too physical. He can just kind of sit back.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Just use that. Use the tools that you've been given.
Which is a whole lot of charisma and athletic ability. I can speak, I swear. Sort of.
And then you also got Baby Brock Lesnar and Face Paint Guy.
Like, you could just have Swerve, like, walk up, hit someone low in the card with, like, a pipe in the back, and then they just stomp him out. And then he just talks to the cameras. That's basically a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have had more feeling there for me. Because, yeah, other than this, everything that Swerve has done to this point in AEW has been perfect. But I think this was more not on him, but the segment that he was given here.
I just wonder if they don't really have too much of a direction besides, hey, we have to kind of wait till Keith gets back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's got to be their first real story, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere else besides that. Dog.
Although that is a setup for Lee return as they attack somebody and then Keith comes back. So maybe that's what will happen on Dynamite.
Maybe so, because that'll be hype as fuck.
Or whatever.
Some this Keith Lee big ass
dog. In my head, I instantly think of Rick Ross. But don't see him coming back as soon.
Yeah.
See, that's what happened is they replaced him with somebody else in the music industry.
Yeah. They were like, yeah, we got to get somebody besides Rick Ross, somebody that knows that they can't use an F-bomb on TV.
At least, especially that fucking clear. Like, Max got caught saying it when he had mics that didn't work, but it was an accident.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm like, it was an accident. It wasn't on him. His mic wasn't working. But it was just Rick Ross just realizing that Keith Lee is a big motherfucker.
Sizing him up and realizing this is not good.
Because I'm sure that was completely off script. He's just like, God damn. You big motherfucker. God damn.
And then the last of like the short, quick video packages was Jade with Layla Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got the end and the gist of it, but that was about it. With apparently Red's jealous of Layla, and that's why she's out and Layla's in.
Yeah. So it's just Jade and the baddie.
Wait, did she actually say that?
Baddies. No, she didn't.
She's like, I'm just gonna take your name away. You're just gonna be the baddie now.
No, I'm just saying if there's not more than one of them anymore, then it's just Jade and baddie, right? She's just baddie now.
Yeah,
the baddie,
and
the only baddie left.
And right now it's split 2-2, so I mean, you could find somebody to bring in, but at the same time, I don't know.
Who, what, why?
Right?
I mean, you like, if you were going to bring someone in, I would feel like it would have to be someone that's on like dark, like, you know, like a super undercard kind of person that just needs to be brought in.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean anyone like huge. I just mean
Oh
like
yeah,
to like on the Layla Red Kira level. Like, hey, you guys are out. This is another one that's in that can fit that level. Because, like, for instance, if you brought in Mercedes in that regard and she went into the world title picture for the group, that make no sense because you're automatically bringing her in and putting her in a like a B feud.
yeah.
I can't think of any names off the top of my head that would really fit the group. Uh, unless they totally want to rebrand Sky Blue, but I think too many people have crushes on her that they can't make her not a face yet.
Yeah. Um, I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to think of people that I've seen on like Dark and stuff, and no, nobody fits to me.
Because so far, Sky Blue's just kind of felt like that happy-go-lucky kind of like that
Yeah.
looking at the world through a child's eyes kind of situation. And
Hmm.
she gets like the crowd behind her and all that stuff, but it would be a way to actually make her serious and give her some more character.
Yeah.
But any like she would have to be like the lowest point on the established card, or sorry, the highest point. Anyone would have to be lower than her. I think she's like that fringe high point for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like it would have to be someone that doesn't even get on TV.
Never ever.
Never ever. No, I just feel like it would have to be. Yes, I feel like it would have to be someone that's not even on TV. And I can't think of who that's not on TV that's still AEW that would actually make sense.
And I hate to say it because it's gonna sound terrible, but with that name, that group, there's a certain style, look, etc. you need to be able to pull off. That doesn't
Gangster
fit
wine.
everybody. Looking through the roster real quick, I can't think of anyone officially on the roster, but I think most of the people in Dark aren't necessarily officially on the roster.
Say most of the people on Dark are just doing their thing. I think maybe other than the people that win all the matches. It's the people that win all the matches are the AEW people.
Speaking of darkness and winning, Kings of the Black
Mm-hmm.
Throne went on to face Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. It feels so weird to use everybody else's first name and then just have Ortiz.
Ortiz, man.
That's all I got.
That's my guy. That's my guy, Ortiz. So I did get to catch a decent amount of this. I caught most of this match here.
Even in the entrances, they were starting off going the whole distrust thing.
Yeah. And like that was obviously the story of the match here. Surprisingly, I was actually thinking that the Eddie and Ortiz thing, like dissension, was going to be a bigger issue, and that Kings of Black Throne were going to just dominate this match. The Eddie and Ortiz didn't get as much offense as I would have liked, but it was more than I thought they would get. So
Did you think it was going to be more like actually having like a beef with each other?
yeah, because that's how it felt like it was going to be. Because they've been hyping up the fact that they don't trust each other a lot. But then again, I guess the way both of their characters are is they'd like, they can deal with that later. They'd like to win a fight.
Yeah. It'd be like legitimately how two brothers not getting along will still go take care of business if somebody fucks with either of the brothers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like that's definitely those two characters to a T. So yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, that would make a little bit more sense. That they'd just be like, yeah, all right, let's do this match, and then we'll deal with our shit later.
But middle of the match, Buddy, I mean, it's towards the end, but Buddy comes down with a chair, slides in, has it in like swing position, but Eddie's able to grab the chair, and he feels somebody behind him, thinks it's or at least how commentary plays it off to be is he thinks it's Malachi, but he like turns to swing the chair, and you get Julia, and I thought this was great. He just like falls backwards to the mat and like scoots all the way to the corner, but she screams like crazy, like in horror. But Ortiz is like, "What the fuck, Eddie?"
Mm-hmm. Hey, that woman is a demon.
My favorite part of the group.
Yeah. It's because I definitely so individually I like Malachi and Brody, but like in the whole group, Julia.
Yeah, like I know Malachi is really good in the ring, but when it's the ensemble of them doing their videos and stuff like that, the presence, it's her.
Yeah. That's what I said. I said it forever ago when we thought the House of Black was done, and I was like, this is going to be bad for Julia but good for everyone else, because the House of Black works for her better than the rest of them. Like, she should be the leader.
Mm-hmm.
Just make her the leader.
And it doesn't even have to be done in a necessarily, because we talked about it before, in a way in which she's like the leader where everybody bows to her.
Right. It doesn't have to be like that. It's just
like have her do most of the talking, and then Malachi just emphasizes, or Malachi or Brody just does the emphasis at the end.
I like that idea. Because, like, they will legitimize whatever she says.
Because during their entrances, I don't know what it is, but it looks so good. Like when they're behind her, and then she sends them to the ring just with their color scheme, their aesthetic. It's golden.
That's what made me say that. Really, I was like, she needs to be the leader of this group. Like, or like the leader, like / manager. Like, because really she's more like I don't know, she's just the women's wrestler of the group, but she shines more as the manager, kind of.
I don't even know why it is the way it is. Just the presentation, the aesthetic, it all just works so well for her.
Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it.
So remember in that fight when she went to take that table bump and barely clipped the table, and she smacked her head on the floor, like, and everyone, like, social media started flipping out.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, forget the match. It was good, but check out her. We need updates on her.
Yeah, because we were all like, yo, is Julia all right? Because the House of Black's not cool without her. Like, we need her.
Like, it'll be cool that, like, she doesn't even need to be to the point where she needs to wrestle a lot. Like, we know that she is working on wrestling and getting there because she's super young.
Mm-hmm.
But you can kind of treat her like a big deal, special thing. Like, she doesn't have to be like a serious competitor right here, right now, or anytime soon for wrestling. But it's great that the fact that she can, it allows you to do so much more with her too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she can. Yeah, like I don't know. I guess she does wrestle occasionally, but it's usually on dark. But throw her in something on like a Rampage or something at least, just so people have to see her and know that she's not just the girl that comes out with the House of Black. Like, nah, she wrestles too.
Like, let's say the face heel stuff worked, and you could have, or the numbers and everything worked, and you could have House of Black versus JAS. Then that's when you can start to get, like, every now and then it comes down to, you know, her versus Ty, or her versus Anna Jay. It doesn't have to be like out there every week trying to win the championship, but you can use her. And then once years down the road, once House of Black is wrapping up, make her the star out of it.
But what if House of Black is forever, like the Bullet Club?
Just at some point, like she can get it. You can push her for it, but it doesn't have to be all the time up. I do want to see her wrestle some more. But just with her role in that group, it just feels like it would be great to have her when she does wrestle. Kind of like how Hook was in the beginning. It's a big deal when she wrestles. Or MJF, you're an attraction.
Attraction, yeah. But yeah, the Julia needs to be the leader of the House of Black. Are you listening, AEW creative people? She needs to be the leader of the House of Black. Now, please.
It's just weird because she kind of is, but kind of isn't. It's weird.
Yeah.
But after she drops down, Eddie, starts questioning, or sorry, no, Ortiz starts questioning Eddie, like, are you really going to hit her with the chair? But Malachi comes in to do his the spinning back kick, and Ortiz ducks it, Eddie gets hit, they get to pin Eddie for the win.
Well, that's going to be more Eddie deciding that Ortiz did this on purpose.
Like, did you, like, how could you honestly think I was going to hit her with the chair?
Yeah. Like, but Eddie's been losing his mind lately. Or that's how they've been playing it, that Eddie's pretty much losing it.
Man, I kind of forget about that because that shit started like 3 months ago.
They've been doing this for a while now. But yeah, he's been very, very slowly getting crazier.
And it all started because they all said, you need to calm down.
Yep. Hey, you tell Eddie to calm down and he's going to start barking at stuff.
It was funny though, because at the end of the match, I don't know what he was doing to him. I don't know if they ever really said. Buddy was holding on to Ortiz on the outside, and as they were all leaving, Malachi's like, you did good. You did good. Yeah, it was just as they were leaving, but
yeah. I don't know. Was it so was that like directed at Buddy?
No, like he was like grabbing Ortiz's face as he said it. Like Buddy was holding him up like this, and Malachi was able to go like this to him.
At first, I was thinking he was talking. I guess I think I looked away at that time too, because I heard it and I thought he was like talking to Buddy for some reason.
So Ortiz is going to be in the House of Black now. And like go into like why'd you originally not attack Ortiz, kind of to sow all these seeds. Like they're just playing them like instruments.
Interesting. Ortiz in the House of Black. I think he could do it because Ortiz seems like, like when I first started watching AEW, Ortiz was kind of more serious. Him and Santana were, kind of like a serious tag team. And then he started showing the goofy Ortiz. And I was like, all right, so he can do stuff.
So I wonder
He,
if he'll just go back to using his face paint like every time he wrestles, like how he used to for at least big matches.
maybe.
How many tattoos does he have?
Uh, Probably more than Buddy. So
It's hard to tell because
he's got that going for him.
like it's very rare that he ever has like no shirt on. Usually be like a tank top and maybe it gets ripped off.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting to me because that dude is ripped. So, usually the dudes that are ripped are happy to not have a shirt on.
It is kind of. So you got there just in time for Max Caster's rap in the Acclaim segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything of note in the rap to you besides the reference to selling out for blood money / Saudi WWE references?
No, he mentioned everything I expected was that, and the other big news that has been going on, if for the people that actually pay attention to the world outside of wrestling, Biden's he was talking about Biden's hidden documents as well, which I expected because that's all the news is talking about right now.
So after that, Bones went on a nice little speech, got everybody in the crowd raising up their scissor fingers, getting everybody hyped. Then they go over to actually, put their fingers in the cement that's on the stage. And that's when the Gun Club's music hits. And tonight they really, really ended up living up to the name Ass Boys, though.
Oh yeah, they were Ass Boys. Oh, sure, it's good though. This is the Acclaim were only hot because they stole their dad, and I thought that was funny. Like, you stole our dad, and that's the only reason why you guys are so hot. Oh, poor kids.
So
you lost your dad to better wrestlers.
Which is great because they actually, it worked perfectly for, this role, because they say we should have been the stars. We're the stars. We're the stars. Blah blah blah. So Billy's like, let me do the right thing here. Let me be a daddy. And he's like, you guys want to do it? Go ahead. Go put your hands in.
It's like, you guys want to do it? You want to go ahead and make your mark? Go ahead. In the meantime, while they're getting ready to make their mark, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn walk behind them. And they get pantsed.
And let's just say neither one of them were wearing boxers, or anything even close to it.
Yeah. Say one of them had a thong. And the other one had, like, bikini style.
Yep. So they're turning, covering up and turning, and then Billy just walks up and pushes them both back. So in the end, in the cement, is 2 imprints of the Gun Club's asses. The Ass Boys.
Ass boys. Ass boys.
I feel like with Tony Khan being involved in sports, he has to have enough forethought that slab of cement needs to be kept safe, because if they ever have like a touristy type of place, or like WWF had WWF New York and different things like that, where Museum Hall of Fame, like, I want to see a cement slab. Ass Boys, literally.
Jeremy's like, I want to smell it.
So I believe you said you had missed like most of or all of the whole Paul Walter Hauser thing.
Stingray from Cobra Kai.
You always
God
ask
damn it.
who
Get
it is.
right. This motherfucker, he says, oh, Paul blah 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 from blah blah, or Paul blah 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 did this, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Stingray from, why didn't you say that the first time, asshole?
Watch me be
I don't know
completely
what his
wrong and it's
name
not
is.
even him.
It's a Stingray from Cobra Kai.
Okay, thank God that actually was him. It wasn't like a doppelganger. But
That would have been funny if it was just Stingray's brother.
did not know you had a twin, sir.
Stingray's brother, Dingray.
So he comes out, they're talking about him winning a Golden Globe. He's happy, but you know, he puts everything into his acting, but his first love is wrestling. He's going on and on doing the normal celebrity thing. Danhausen music's hit. He said he never got an award for being the #1 merch seller in AEW, thanks to all the fans, blah blah blah. So in the very Danhausen way, he's like, give me your award. That'll be mine.
Fucking Danhausen. The best.
This is
That just, like, this whole thing, I don't know how I just remembered just now about how when Stingray was pulling up in his
in the Cobra Kai car.
Convertible, yeah, with Judas blasting.
Yep.
And just like, that's a great song. I'm like, oh yeah, even his character is a wrestling fan. All right.
Makes perfect sense, right? I actually quit taking notes on this because I knew like everything that happened, but there was so much. But he wants to award. Paul's going along with it. Sorry, Stingray is going along with it. It's like, should this be called the Golden Globe Hausen? Get this fan into it, everything. And then we hear Jeff Jarrett's music hits, and they come down. And he roasted. I only remember 2 of them. But he had like 3 or 4 good lines against them, which was one, Jeff Jarrett looks like a woman who owns a Crunch Fitness. And the only other one I remember, he looked at Lethal and Sanjay and said, and your guys look like people getting ready for a homeschool dance.
Oh, the lady that owns a Crunch Fit. I don't know what a lady that owns a Crunch Fitness looks like, but now I picture that lady to look like Jeff Jarrett.
Like, I'm going to have to go back and try to watch a video on it again. But this ends up with Danhausen being pushed into the corner by Satnam Singh, and he just leans back against Danhausen to hold him into the corner while Sanjay and Lethal grab Paul Stingray. Sorry. And Jeff Jarrett hits him over the head with a guitar. See, this is how you know it's a celebrity who's actually a wrestling fan. If they're not wrestling fans, they'll just show up, maybe talk a little bit. The wrestling fans are like, yes, put me through a table, hit me with a guitar, do it.
Yeah, like I'm 100% certain Freddie Prinze Jr. was like, please trash me, MJF. He's like, please trash me. It's Freddie Prinze Jr. Like, as we know, a huge wrestling nerd,
Former writer. But yeah, that I was so mad at ourselves on Wednesday night because we kind of went right past the actual insult parts because yes, they were good.
Yeah.
But then they go to hit Danhausen with the Golden Globe. Best friends then come out. They chase him off. Lethal and Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. By the way, they're leaving and they're like posing with the Golden Globe on the way out. But they emphasized that after, you know, Trent and Orange Cassidy had a match and everything, they were like, hey, it looks like they're still good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both faces.
The funny part is they came out for Danhausen. They didn't even come out for like Orange Cassidy or anything. They came out for someone who's kind of even like more on the outside.
Yeah, but that's Danhausen though.
I would expect at least Orange Cassidy. I think he would come before the Best Friends, but if Orange Cassidy comes, the Best Friends are coming. Mm-hmm. Goofy 2 have stuck together a little bit more.
For the one time. The one time that you were like, nah, he's losing that belt. And it's like, nah. As much as I like Kip, nah.
It was the only one that had any chance of changing that night.
Yeah.
But
and it was mostly with my heart that I picked. My heart was like, take the belt off OC and give it to Kip. But my brain said, nope. Orange Cassidy's too over to lose to Kip.
But all that really mattered out of that show was, God damn it, AEW, I may not watch another Battle of the Belts until I hear that there's a championship change on the show.
Yeah. So I'm fully down next time to just review Rampage during Battle of the Belts.
Well, I mean, we could just do what we did last time, which is just do the watch along, because it's the same amount of time anyway.
That's true. That's true. We can do that.
Actually, can probably kind of end even faster, just because of the simple fact that we would take that break, sit, have to do all that. We would just be like, all right, the shows are over, bye.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, we'd just be able to give quick thoughts and be done. So...
Which, by the way, if you just came in and you heard me say bye, quoting, kind of talking, don't go anywhere, because there was still one more match
thing to talk about.
But before we get to that,
if
you're still here, don't forget to drop a like, or if you watch us on VOD, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We already got a couple new chatters tonight, another new subscriber. Keep adding to it. Let's go. We're still new, we're still growing, and we'll still pay attention to you. We appreciate you.
Heck yeah. And now it's time for the main event. Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho versus Kai and Anna Jay in a street fight.
For the first time ever, you doing that, it did not cut out your voice one bit.
No, it worked perfectly because it was a street fight.
And I don't know what it is.
Willow. So much.
Every time that we've had the women put in a chance to main event a show and have a street fight, unsanctioned matched, it's been good. Very good.
This match was the shit. I was pleasantly surprised with this match. Wow. Great job, ladies. As everyone can tell, neither one of us chose a hit of the night until the main event, because this was a memorable match put on by the ladies in a main event. AEW, thank you. You're getting it now. The ladies can put on a main event match, a good ass main event match. We've been just waiting for it, and we've gotten a couple now.
See, I think on the other side, AEW has just been waiting for women to get the reactions to get them into the main event.
Okay.
And now they have Willow.
Yeah, they do have Willow.
Sorry. I'm not saying I fully believe that. I just wanted to twist it to make it about Willow and Willow being over.
Yeah, I mean, look at this shit though. I'm not even being biased when I say that Willow is more over than anybody that's not Jamie or DMD.
I think Soraya's still up there, but
I guess,
outside of
yeah.
those, yeah, she's the next in line. She's right
Mhm.
there with them.
So, hey, it makes perfect sense that we just keep on bringing her up here. Come on. And goddamn, she looked good today with them camo pants on, dog.
And think about it, though,
She looked
all
like
of
she
those,
could whoop ass in them.
and she's the only one of those names that we just said that are not involved in the same singular story.
Yep.
So,
yep.
We had Anna Jay.
She's coming back for you, girl, Jamie, man. She's coming back for her. It's gonna be, I think, was it 1 or 2 matches they've had now? I can't remember.
Versus Jamie? I know they did a number of tag team matches, but you know who else she's
There was one singles match. Yeah. More than one tag match, but one singles match. Got it.
That's why I think she goes back for Jade. She's had 2 there.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Anna Jay and Ty Mello were on their way out to the ring. Ruby and Willow weren't waiting. We got to see super serious Willow tonight, not the run out on the stage with the big smile and the wave to the crowd. No, she was ready for a what?
She was ready for a street fight. She came out street fighting.
So I'm just gonna throw the graphic up right now because I'll use the one that you don't want to use.
Yeah, this was almost the hit of the night. What his hit of the night is, so I know what it is.
Because I know he wants to give it to Willow, so I'm gonna take this because it has to be mentioned.
Yes, I'm gonna say we're gonna mention it either way, but it wasn't gonna be my hit of the night.
So, I should have made it the joke about Jeff Jarrett.
Probably.
They have rubies shoved inside of a trash can, and it was Ty who jumped off the ring apron and did the stomp. Ruby came out of that trash can already, like a good amount of her face just completely covered in blood, and it was only going to get worse throughout the match.
Jon Moxley would have been proud.
Like, it's right up there with how the bunny looked when she faced Anna Jay in the street fight a while back. Like, it was Crimson Mask, as they call it, by the end of the match.
Yeah, that was wild.
Not even one of the wildest things that we saw either.
Covered in blood the whole match. And then we get
just let me know when I need to.
Just go ahead and just keep that graphic
going. You know
what?
Whole match.
Keep that because this was a dope ass match. I am biased because I am a huge Willow fan, but outside of me being a huge Willow fan, this
Jamie Hayter #1
match. Hey, Jamie Hayter is creeping up my list now. All right. But Willow's always #1. But check this out, you guys. So Ty and Anna have Ruby over in the corner, and they're about to double suplex her from the second rope. Willow comes over to intercept, and normally someone's just gonna hit the people. No, she double power bombs Ty and Anna, who are still holding Ruby, onto chairs. So she just whooped everybody's ass.
And the camera angle,
it was basically a triple power bomb.
Yeah, and the camera angle was across the ring, like behind them all. So after Ruby hits with from like basically a superplex, and she kind of does like the roll through to sit up. The camera's just perfectly there to capture her face just completely red.
Yeah. Wow. This match was incredible. I feel bad for the crowd because it was so late for them.
No, remember they're in California.
Probably. Oh yeah, this is West Coast, so they have no excuse.
The crowd was
Yeah,
pretty
they should
good.
still be hyped. Yeah, they were pretty good.
They had good chance going throughout this match. This is awesome.
Yeah, because this was awesome. This was awesome. There was a couple holy shits in there like that. And then the stomp. When you see Ruby's face afterwards.
Not even taking the graphic down because, yeah, like everything in this match that could be mentioned. Like, I don't know. What happened? Take the next one because it's a Willow spot again. And I'll take the one right after.
So, who was it? Ty or Anna? I forgot.
She took Anna.
She took Anna. She took Anna up the ramp. Power bombed her off of the ramp onto the ground. She lands on the table. Anna lands on the ground.
Willow essentially landed like she was trying to sit on top of the table, where her butt's like in the middle and her legs would hang off the edge, and Anna just straight to the ground.
Yes.
Both the hardest hit of the night, and also if we had something negative to say, it'd probably be on there too, just because those are the kind of moments that you kind of go, ooh, not good.
Yeah. Like, it was definitely supposed to be in the table, but the miss made it more effective to me, because to the concrete, much worse than through a table.
Yeah, but that's why I also kind of like how we referenced earlier, with like Julia Hart hit the floor all those months back. It's kind of one of those ones where it's like, I hope they're okay outside of selling that shit. Because right after she did that, it was Ty who had Ruby on the ring apron and picked her up and got style power driver to a table at ringside and got her inside the ring. But guess what? Kick out.
Yeah. I 100% going into this match knew that Willow and Ruby were winning. After losing the clean match, or the almost clean match, they were 100% winning this match. So I was like, yeah, she's gonna kick out of whatever the hell it is, but dope spot still.
And
dope ass spot.
So what happened next was Ty brought out the thumbtacks. You know, it's weird. Like, the commentary team was like both ruining the moment, but also trying to tell the story. Like, you had half the commentary team talk about like, oh, what's in the black bag? Like, trying to build the suspense, and then like JR going like, we know what's in the damn bag. It's never anything good, but we can't tell you. We can't tell you what's in the bag, but we know what's in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, we always know what's in the bag. It's always thumbtacks.
But after, I forgot.
But he's right. It's never good. I mean, it's good for us, but for none of them.
So Ty tries to like shove Ruby's face into it, but Ruby's able to grab something and like throw her into her face, which ends up leading her into being able to hit Destination Unknown on the tax. And as much as you personally would like for Willow to always get the pin, right? You always want to see her look the best. It's the right story beat to have Ruby get it.
In this match, I wouldn't have wanted for Willow to get the pin, just because story-wise, it makes sense for Ruby to get the pin. Especially considering that she had to eat the pin during the last match. And like, Willow wins. She doesn't get the pin, but it's Ruby's story.
Yeah. She's busy
She's just
murdering Anna
being
Jay.
Ruby's friend, or she's just trying to be Ruby's friend, and Ruby's just like, "Hey, help me wrestle, but I don't want to be your friend."
But after Ruby has been hesitant during the video packages and stuff recently to fist bump Willow, he actually offers it out to Willow, and you get that like moment of like Willow realizes the fist is there and she smiles again and does the fist bump, which is probably the first time we saw Willow smile all night, just with the change of match and change of style. It was serious Willow.
I love Willow Nightingale so much. You got to see her do some character work today. Please, let's get some more. Like, clearly, it's worth it. Let's get some more Willow.
It's funny because a year ago, Ruby was new, she was super popular and everything, and now it's like, but the star's over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, thanks for coming out with her, Ruby. But that's who we're all looking for over there. Yeah. But yeah, I really do. I want to see her win one of these titles in the near future. Like, I think it would not be unreasonable for her to get one of those 2 belts in this year.
This year,
like, with her momentum that she's got going right now, I would say it wouldn't be unreasonable.
I could see it being. I feel like within this year would make sense. I still think it's gonna be the TBS though.
Yeah, like I'd say if it's this year, it'd probably be TBS.
Especially because I feel like when you look at people who have a story, even if it's not like a current story, with Jade, you're looking at the ex-baddies and then basically Willow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there's something to kind of like how Nyla is a little bit different. There's something to the story when Jade can't so easily overpower her opponents.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, Nyla was definitely like my favorite whole thing with her.
But a lot of that was story driven too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it was definitely like because of the story. Like the match itself was not even that good for Jade, but yeah. But the story was, yeah.
I still think unless she does like a Street Fight or something like that where it could be memorable for other reasons, Jade's still probably a good year or 2 away before we can ever hope for a masterpiece of a match.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen her grow a lot, and we've seen a lot of the wrestlers over there grow a lot. But her growing a lot was from like novice to, hey, I have experience, not hey, I'm really good. That's the harder jump.
I think what she's doing right now is smart. She's just adding one thing to her arsenal here and there and trying to perfect that one thing. And once she does, she adds another thing to her arsenal and she starts working on that one.
And I think a lot of that will come down the line too, story-wise, for even like in the match story. I think a lot of that will end up coming down to after she loses her first match, then it's a lot easier to kind of give her those matches where you're like, it can go either way. Create those kind of good stories.
Yeah, you can put her in some real storylines there. definitely want to see. I don't know. I think I just love Athena right now with her run. I think when Jade goes babyface, her and Athena would be fun again.
We're down
Because
the
I
line.
think that Jade will eventually go babyface down the line.
Yeah. The only reason I wouldn't even
Probably
mention
when she
that.
loses her first match, she'll be like, "Oh, now I gotta be nice."
So the only reason I didn't even mention Athena as one of the people to take the belt off of Jade is she's kind of occupied with her own championship right now,
Right,
and they don't need to be doing like double champs right now.
right. That's why I said like eventually down the road when Jade loses and goes babyface, because I think Athena needs to stay heel because her babyface run was not working, but this heel turn is great.
I did not know this because I would not have been watching like independent wrestling that's harder to find back at during her time on them, but apparently
Mhm.
she was always a heel.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that's what she like when she was saying this was always me, and it's like, oh, when you find out in the independence and things, yeah, she was always a heel. That's her thing. That's what she does.
it's almost like they went to a
Just
certain company and they tried to change everything about
yeah,
her.
it's just like yeah, that just the only time she was not a heel was Ember Moon.
And because of the fact that that was her big exposure, that's what everyone expected when she got to AEW.
Hmm. Yeah, and then yeah, we found out real quick, babyface is not good for her in AEW. But this heel turn though,
I'm trying to think of anyone else that could, like, who I'd be excited to see what they could do if they flipped, because I don't really know about how they would be if they flipped. Like, I know you mentioned being curious about what Tony Storm would be as a heel.
yes,
I kind of feel like I still wouldn't
very
care.
I don't know, but so we're being teased with a maybe Hikaru Shida, and as much as I love her as a face, I think I might want her to step on me as a heel.
She, like how we were talking
She's
about,
already got that like Yakuza kind of thing going with the suit and the kendo stick. Yep, step on
it's hard. She's gonna have to do a lot of dastardly things because with her limited talking,
me.
she's not gonna be some like traditional heel in terms of like the trash talk and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to see her just. What if her goal every match is just she finds a way to be sneaky to use the kendo stick and just outsmarts everybody?
Yeah, you know, like um, wrestling the right way wasn't doing anything for me because lost that AEW belt and never got it back. So I'm gonna beat the shit out of you with this kendo stick when the ref isn't looking.
Like you talked about Jade switching, and honestly, like it's gonna happen. But I feel like
Mhm.
she's tailor made to be a heel, though.
Jade.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she could go either way because as a baby face, it's easy for her to be legitimate because just look at her. Like she doesn't need help.
You know what?
She's the biggest woman out there every time.
You know what I think is, but generally, a lot of times having that size advantage, like the monster size, makes you a better heel, though, too. But you know what I wasn't thinking about, like for us,
Hmm.
I'm going to use the words, and I hope this doesn't sound terrible. When we say the word bitch, we just think it's a really negative attitude and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like for her and like amongst women, a lot of times,
that bitch, though.
right? You can have that kind of personality, but you still have traits of that same personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I feel like, or at least for me, to really like you as a baby face, you gotta have a little bit of fire too with you. You can't just be straight up, yay, yeah, I love everything. My opponents are wonderful too. Like, you gotta give me something there. So yeah.
It'd be very easy to see her kind of being a face, like a Brick kind of face. Not necessarily the same reasons, but you tone down the heel just a little bit.
Yeah, where, she does, her matches are straight up. Nobody hops up and then distracts the referee. That's about all that has to happen for her to be a babyface.
Let's see. I already talked about, like, I think from earlier when we were talking, I think a turn for Sky Blue could be interesting. Just to get away from, as you just talked about, the baby face of, yeah, I'm so good, and yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I'm not, like, I like Sky Blue, but I'm not a huge fan because of that. Because there's no depth to her character. Mm-hmm. It's just smiley baby face. Yeah. Boo. That gets boring fast.
I could say this, but you'd hate it. I want to know what Willow would be as a heel. Because it would have to change so much for Willow.
Look, I would be down with everything that Willow does, okay? So I'm not going to hate that at all.
But I mean, there's nothing in her current personality that could stay.
All of my favorite ladies are heels. Or are hopefully going to be heels. Because I am really, really hoping for Hikaru Shida to be a heel soon.
But what would Willow even be like if she had to change at some point? Like, her entire personality is like being over the top nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's like an enigma because she's the only one that works for. Because anyone else, and I'm like, no, thank you. But her is like, the way she does it is just, I don't know, it's different.
I'm trying to think. What if she just went total opposite and she basically became like Darby? Everything's dark and gloomy, and she's so negative all the time.
I couldn't even see it. Like, my mind.
She did the braids like tonight all the time.
Yeah, but my brain still doesn't compute because she was.
I still see a big smile.
As much as she was tough and she was ready for a street fight tonight, she was still Willow. Like, but what Willow is yeah, she's kind of a smiley baby face, but once she gets in the ring, she grits her teeth.
Like, I'm just trying to imagine like the promos to it though, and it's just when I try to like put like Darby face paint on her face in my head, I just still see her with her big smile just because I'm so used to seeing it. Like, that just doesn't work.
I know. That's why I said that doesn't compute. Nope, doesn't work.
Rodney!
My brain couldn't picture it. Hey, Rodney.
I want to start a whole conversation with you, but at the same time, it's 1 a.m.
It's 12:51 a.m. Okay.
How was your night going into the weekend? Or wait, are you working? I forgot what shift you're on now.
Who knows what that guy's doing?
'Cause I know he used to always leave
He's
at like 8
probably
at night and knew
smoking
he'd work
crack out of a
overnight.
stripper's booty hole right now.
I do not have
You heard me, smoking crack.
an unseen notification. Wait, what? Wait, I'm confused. Somebody just posted in a group saying Top Flight and AR Fox versus the Elite or what, but it just says Young Bucks versus Top Flight. Maybe they're just building to that. How would you feel about that? The Elite versus Top Flight and AR Fox, even though you know who's winning.
I know. I'd want to see it. I'm gonna just, yep. I want to see it, even though it's kind of like well, you know what's gonna happen already. But I'd want to see it, cause we can finally see who has better jumps in a match, Dante or Ray. And I mean, height is always going to be Dante, but the distance.
Dante versus who?
Ray. Or I'm sorry, what? No. Nick.
I mean, we know those answers. In terms of like actual hop, like it's Dante all day.
Yeah.
Now I'll be curious to see full speed how they work together. So probably seen them at some point and don't remember.
I've seen Dante and Ray on Dark before. They shouldn't have put it on Dark, but it wasn't a whole good match. It was just that sequence with those two. I was like, yo, do that again, please. Do that again. Put them on together on television.
I remember when Darius returned last time, he went right into that battle royal where he was left with the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've kind of seen each other in tag team, but they couldn't have had too much chances to see each other as tag team because Darius's injury history. I just don't even know how to quantify how much time he's missed.
Yeah, all the time, except for the last 3 weeks.
I wonder.
To list of the BCC.
I wonder if you take just one of those injuries away, because both of them took so much time. If you took just one of those away, where would Top Flight be as a tag team right now?
I think they would be up high.
Would the Acclaimed even be tag team champions right now? Because
that's what I was just thinking. If Darius never got hurt, I think the Acclaimed might not be where they are right now.
Because this is another babyface tag team
Acclaimed,
that would have got pushed.
Yeah, Top Flight would have been pushed. The Acclaimed would have eventually gotten there because everyone loves the Acclaimed. No front, but I think it would have took longer if Darius never got hurt.
Yeah. But it's always hard to play those ifs and buts games because during those same times, who knows what this past summer could have been, because when you had Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly get hurt, that could have been a tag team with, O'Reilly and Fish, and then Adam Cole's the trios. That's clearly going to be a trios thing, and
then everybody was hurt.
It's amazing how it one medium to even high on the card, but not necessarily main event injury that's long term can affect so much planning, let alone a handful at a time.
Storylines. You can. That reminds me, I forgot. No, and I'm happy that I didn't ask you until now. What do you think Adam Cole's first storyline is going to be?
I'll tell you what it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho should have never lost the Ring of Honor Championship. It should have been Adam Cole returning during one of his open challenges and dethroning him, and then you could have started a whole different thing with like Adam Cole and the JAS, and then with Adam Cole, he can reunite with his friends with the Elite, and you could have been moving into the Elite with JAS.
Okay.
Kind of building another couple of feuds for a couple different titles. Because right now, what's the Elite gonna do next?
Be champions.
Right. So you would have had story for both. I think because he has won the Ring of Honor title more than any other wrestler in history. He's the only 3-time champion.
Okay. With all that being said,
what should it be now?
The question was, what should Adam Cole's storyline?
I don't know.
First storyline back be. What should it be?
Oh, because so many things. Because I don't want him to go right for the championship because he can't lose. He has to win.
Mm-hmm. Because he has to, like, yeah, he's back, but he has to look like he's back.
Just whoop Darby's ass in 5 minutes and take the TNT title.
Tell me you hate Darby without telling me you hate Darby.
I don't hate Darby, but I feel like he needs to make a statement with his return.
Yeah.
You can even make the story that Darby injures himself. I don't care.
Damn. So, because I don't know. I feel like he's got to be closer. Like he's gonna have to have something outside of a title picture with somebody major, though.
But that's where I'm struggling to think of who, because like Danielson would have been a great example.
Mm-hmm. He would have been paid,
he's kind of busy.
He's got stuff.
Actually,
because it's obviously got his like first major thing has to be our Revolution. I almost said Rampage.
Question for you.
Answer for you.
Do you think he's going to be babyface or heel? He's gonna get a babyface reaction, that's clear. But he's always typically a heel.
He's probably going to be babyface initially and the heel turn so that he can go back to his roots.
Just because I was going to say, could just stick with kind of sort of what I originally said and make it Claudio. But he, again, that's a champion, but I'm trying to think of a non-champion that makes sense, and there's not a lot. I don't think he's coming in and beating Moxley.
Yeah. I don't think you throw him in. I don't think you throw him in right away and beat a Moxley. But I think even though Jericho doesn't hold the belt, you could do Jericho.
Yeah, he lost to the Action Andretti just recently, and he's on a losing streak. That don't mean shit.
I mean, but the name does more for him. He's still Jericho, no matter what happens. People are always gonna think about the Judas in my mind.
If we're talking, I don't know how you do this.
Become.
The next person's also a champion, but I think their promos would be really, really good. Especially considering this person's name's the Samoan Submission Machine. Samoa Joe can talk about putting him to sleep again. That's
Ooh.
a heel that's on that
Oh,
level.
and then yeah, they did have a good match already. I could get with that.
It's just hard to avoid the champions.
I could get with that. Damn. Yeah.
Orange Cassidy is another guy that he could squash, but that title's too low, far below him. I don't mean squash,
Yeah.
but the win has to be more definitive whenever he does come back.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm sure he's gonna wrestle somewhere in there, but he's gonna have he's gonna have that definitive win at Revolution that says, "Oh shit, here comes Adam Cole." And that's why I was wondering who that's gonna be.
I'm actually really, really down for the battle of words between Adam Cole and Samoa Joe right now.
I would like to see that again for sure.
I don't want Ring of Honor or Adam Cole to be one of those guys that's Ring of Honor TV and they kind of disappear.
I don't think so. He's too big a draw.
That's why I almost don't want the Ring of Honor title to be involved.
I don't know. But yeah, that's another reason why I was saying that I don't think his first major thing will be any kind of title picture. It'll just be against someone who is usually in the title picture. Whether it be, the Ring of Honor or the World or TNT, it'll be against one of those major people from one of those.
I just can't think of who doesn't currently have a championship that makes a whole lot of sense. Unless you want me to tell you that he's just going to beat Ricky Starks once Starks beats Jericho. Oh, you know what? Because it's hard because I don't think of this person on that level yet, but they were treating him like that and trying to get him to that point. What if he gets into it with Ethan Page? Stokely going back and forth with Adam Cole?
Yeah. Okay. I dig it.
And I mean, that's a little bit lower than what you were probably thinking in terms of top guys.
Yeah.
They've treated him well enough lately.
But yeah, he's definitely up there, upper mid card at least.
Because we already talked about, like, Swerve would make a decent opponent, but you're building up Swerve's new group, and he's clearly waiting for Keith Lee.
Right.
Like, if we were 3 months down the road and Swerve had established this group and he had got through with Keith Lee, Swerve would make sense. Like, he'd be on that level, but he's tied up.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know.
What, you got someone in mind besides Jericho?
I don't really actually have an idea other than Jericho.
I mean, if he's coming back as strictly as a babyface,
I think he's coming back as a babyface, especially with that promo.
But he also has a title.
A lot of it was just heart, but that promo said, "I'm coming back as a babyface," and he doesn't have a group anymore.
So, it's hard because if we take titles and groups into consideration, if he's a babyface, Daniel Garcia would make sense, but now you're getting into something bigger with a group, and you're not going to do that alone.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy would make sense in that regard too.
Mm-hmm.
But if he came back as a heel, Wheeler Yuta would be on that level, but again, champion.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, and Like I said, I really, at least initially, I don't feel like he's going to be coming back as a heel. I think he's babyface straight up right now.
I think he's like a lot
Unless if he
like
comes
Brit.
out and slaps the shit out of like somebody's mom next week.
I just think he's always been kind of a lot like Brit, like a heel, but also still loved. So that's why I don't rule it out necessarily. And that's also why I think the Shawn Michaels, like the early Shawn Michaels comparisons, should apply more to Adam Cole than anybody else in history. Because Shawn Michaels was a total douchebag, but he was still loved, but he was also hated.
Yeah. That's very accurate because I love and hate Shawn Michaels. I both love and hate him. There definitely is a thin line, and I cross both of them.
It's okay, I just keep saying the name Juice on the top of the screen, and not speaking of love slash. Well, I don't hate him at all, but he is my Shawn Michaels.
You love slash juicing.
I mean,
but not love juice because that's weird. You just love slash juicing.
I'm like, either way you say it, it still sounds the same.
No, it's love slash juice. It's different, you know, because when you love juice, and you love his, and you give him the love juice. But when it's love slash juice, you love him and you juice.
I'm saying, like, if you juice him, but what do you think of if you say you juice a dude?
See, well, hold on, I got this. Hold on.
When you love a fruit,
all right. So, when a man loves another man, he juices them, okay? But you know, like it's like, you know, I love you, so I juice you up, man. I'm like, you got this, bro. You can do it. You know, juicing you up.
well, it's about after 1 o'clock in the morning. We are clearly losing our minds. This feels like a conversation Rodney should have stayed in here for.
Oh yeah, he should have been here getting juiced up with us. See, I juiced you up.
I'm just gonna.
Lucky I juiced you up like that.
I love juice. In my head, every time I say we have those variations of words, I also think of that whole thing of like when you mouth olive juice. I was like, I love you. Like, I'm like, there's so many ways that this could get twisted so fast.
Olive juice. Is there? See, now I'm getting. Is there actually olive juice? Or is that like a? I mean, there's definitely olive juice.
But is it an actual thing to be purchased?
But is it like, yeah, is that a thing?
Yeah, they use it for dirty martinis.
Oh.
I didn't know this because I don't really drink like that to know this shit. Yeah. But I just Google olive juice and the first thing comes up is just olive juice for like bar stuff and yeah.
Because I was, you know, I knew they put actual olives in martinis, but I didn't know there was olive juice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazon.
That's probably why I've never been a huge fan.
Dirty martini olive juice, 12 ounce. Olive juice.
And
That's
I
still the
do
Amazon.
apologize if we lose any viewers here because I don't like olives. It is
Olive
what it
juice
is.
can improve your heart health by lowering your cholesterol levels, according to MayoClinic.com.
I'll use olive oil. Olive oil's pretty nice. But I could never see myself drinking olive juice.
So it is apparently okay. So it's not juice in the way that you're probably thinking of how juice is traditionally made, like squeeze oranges, right? That kind of stuff. It says olive green or olive juice is simply a mixture of salt, vinegar, and water, but as olives marinate, the liquid takes on a rich and delicious olive flavor. So it's not olive.
So it's not even olives.
Right. It's like water that is
water that's
olive flavored, essentially.
Yuck. I would never want olive juice. Just I don't even like olives. Just give me the real olives. Ugh. Blah, 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 blah.
You're lucky I won't remember this come October, or else your birthday gift will be olive juice next year.
Bruh, I will fight you. I will say thank you and then fight you.
It's gonna be like, grab it, thank you, the little nod, put it down on the counter, punch square to the forehead.
No, I'm never punching you in the forehead again. I lost a piece of my knuckle, okay? Fucking ass.
I'm an asshole because you punched me. I still remember what I did to you to get that reaction though, so whatever.
Yeah, I got a fucking divot in my knuckle still. Like, that'll never go away. Like, there's just a little bit of it gone.
I'm not hard-headed. Literally. Or metaphorically.
Yeah, you are a hard-headed motherfucker.
Anyways, it's now going on 1:15. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And don't punch your friends in the forehead.
Yeah, you'll lose a piece of your knuckle.
Night.
Night, everybody.